A lot of the events that we went to during Super Bowl last year, like the NFL experience, in which they will have a portion of that, they won't have the taste of the NFL. It's all going to be it's going to be by Zoom. So it's going to be interesting. But some events have been added. Ironic, right?
What are they adding?
So a lot of things are being taken away. Well, one major event has been added. We're very excited about it. We've been involved with BKFC since the beginning, and now they're coming to town Super Bowl week, Friday night, just down the street in Lakeland. Main event on the line with us right now. Let's welcome to the program, Britton Hart. Britton, how are you?
Hey, guys. That was an awesome introduction. But, yes, I'm great.
We appreciate your time. Any thoughts about it being, and it's not attached to the Super Bowl, of course, because I could get sued for even implying that, but it's in the same circle. It's in the same realm. It's the biggest sporting event in this country, and BKFC will be here, and you're the main event of that card.
I'm super excited and anxious for it, that's for sure. But when you think about, just the platform that I'm on and that I'm going to be able to be on, it is just huge. And I have to give a big shout out to David Feldman for even making a women's fight this big on KnuckleMania and exploding like it is on Super Bowl. It's kind of almost even funnier because they're naming it KnuckleMania, but I feel like they should have came up with like Super Brawl or something like that, because with it being in Super Bowl territory. But as being a sports enthusiast, I'm super happy for the opportunity, and even more blessed in the fact of it's me as the main event on this sporting event.
I have to be honest with you. Dave has been on this program numerous times, all the way back to BKFC 1 out there in Wyoming. We've talked, we've joked, we've clowned around. I can't believe that I wasn't smart enough. I can't believe that we were not smart enough, and I'm looking at you, knucklehead.
We're not friends.
Because Matt's mentor is Hulk Hogan here in the Tampa Bay area. I'm upset that we didn't trademark KnuckleMania.
Yeah. That's a great name.
That's funny. It should have been.
It
is
an epic name.
I think people are more excited.
No,
yeah.
Absolutely. Dave knows that, I'm limited on what I wear. I'm sponsored by 8 Man Strong, or I wear Knockout Radio garb. And I said, I want a knockout or a KnuckleMania t-shirt, because I'll wear that all week long. It is a really cool name for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love it. It's awesome. Like, this is, BKFC is doing so great. And you've heard it before, and there's been, comments out there like this is the future of combat sports. But being on the second BKFC to now, it's just really amazing and cool, because this is the first one that actually has a nickname like this.
Right.
So that's something that they've never done before. So it must mean big things are on the way.
Obviously, I want to talk a lot about you and your background and your relationship with Kevin Smith, who's a good friend of mine, and the boxing gym that's out in California. We're going to get to all that. But talk about the opportunity, who you're fighting, the name that's on there, that obviously is going to bring a lot more eyes to BKFC, as well as bring the eyes to the main event. Give me your thoughts on that first.
Honestly, it's not like I'm not appreciative of it, because I definitely am. But I tell everyone, it doesn't matter what the name is in front of me. All I know is I'm going to be training to be the best Britton Hart that anyone's ever seen. So fortunately for me, I do have the experience. I've gone with big names before. I've gone in front of Beck Rawlings. So the whole UFC veteran thing, I've been there, done that. So Paige VanZant, UFC, been there, done that. That's not going to bother me. But I am thankful that she is another amazing female fighter and athlete that has, huge recognition and is known so publicly for her achievements and whatever that she's done. So to be, in the ring with someone like that, I feel like is also something great, that, they're putting me with what they think is the best. So it's definitely an epic fight.
You mentioned that you're a fan of other sports, and I'm asking you this question for a reason, and you'll see why in a second. Tell me some teams that, that you do like, whether it's, NFL or MLB. What are some of those other teams that you like to follow? And then I'm going to ask you my question.
Okay, so I am a huge Panthers fan, so keep pounding. That's actually usually all over my vehicles and what I wear. So I'm a huge Panthers fan. I actually worked there for 5 years. I do like NASCAR. Kevin Harvick is my favorite driver. I love basketball. I'm definitely a Lakers fan, so big Lakers. So it's kind of cool to be out near the LA area. When it comes, I like hockey. When it comes to hockey, I have kind of a diverse, I guess it kind of goes in with me. But with hockey, I like the Boston Bruins. Baseball is probably my one sport. And, I went to several events, but I never really found a connection with baseball. But I've been to an Orioles game and I've been to a Boston Red Sox game. So I don't really think I have a favorite baseball team, though.
Okay. When you say Panthers, I'm assuming, and I don't want to assume anything, the Carolina Panthers?
Yep, down in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I was just in Charlotte over the weekend. My sister and brother-in-law have had season tickets forever. I bought them from the NFL auction a Carolina Panther jersey for their new home. So that is kind of ironic. But the reason I was asking you that, hoping that maybe it was like the Oakland Raiders or the Dallas Cowboys, because a lot of fans are going to be cheering for your opponent, and I don't want to say booing, but, hoping, would you relish in that? Because that's something I would. I want to be the Oakland Raider. I want to be booed. I want to be hated. And I'm very well at that. And that's kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah, well, I think when I started this, I really came in this fight really believing that they were going to think that I'm the underdog and they're underestimating me and, not giving me any credit. And then basically nobody wants me to win. I did come in feeling that way, but honestly, I don't know. It feels I'm paying attention to the things that matter because I'm not really getting that. The people that have been around me supporting me, I am so thankful for because they just fill my head with positive stuff that I don't even have time to pay attention to the naysayers. So if they're out there, hate away because I'm not even paying attention or noticing. It's not leaking through, so they're not doing a great job. So that's awesome for me. The things that are getting through are the people that believe in me and believe what I stand for and seeing my journey. And even the people that are just meeting me now, I think that the fact that they know who I am and they're seeing my story because thankfully to David Feldman and KnuckleMania, and also thanks to Paige with the exposure to this fight, people are getting to see my story. And I think some people are kind of double thinking who they're really behind. Like, this is a girl that's really out here as a real person and really fighting for something to change her life, not someone who just wants to do it because they think they can or because, they want extra fame or to prove that they're tough, to their, other community. I don't know, but it just seems that the more positive lights are on me right now.
Very cool. Now, we continue talking about KnuckleMania. And when I spoke to Kevin Smith this morning, he said, you're out there training with Knuckleheads Boxing. And why I didn't, trademark that either. But talk about Knuckleheads Boxing out there in LA.
Yes, actually, I just saw where Scott Burt, who's amazing. He's awesome with the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame. He posted the medals as being, something signifying special to our fight as the main event. There's like a little diamond on it, and on the back of the medallion it says Knucklehead, and it's the Knucklehead Award and something like that. But I was just looked at it and I just smiled, this big, huge smile. Like, again, I tell a lot of people that the stars are really aligning for me in this fight with everything. The pieces of the puzzle, the people I'm around, my training camp, the coach I have. And it's all really, showing, hey, Britton, you're on the right path and you're on the road to success. And this is the, chapter of a new, better, more amazing life. And you worked for it and you earned it. And I'm definitely not letting that go lightly. I think about it every day very heavily. But it's so cool being at Knuckleheads. I love Knuckleheads. The gym here is like a true family. Everybody here is so amazing and supportive. They take a high interest in stuff. They cheer on, at practices and, are very encouraging. We do things together. My coach is just super positive and just a huge motivating factor in all of this. But yeah, it really couldn't be better out here. I really can't even begin to describe my experience out here on how amazing my training camp has been.
Well, since you just said everything you did about Knuckleheads Boxing and how upbeat and how awesome and family it is, I will never call you Matt Knucklehead again.
That's true.
Because I use it as a derogatory
Right,
towards you. And
Now
since she's saying
now it's cool. Now it's nice.
Now it's cool. So I cannot do it. Talk about how much you enjoy training. All the fighters have always said the fight itself is the reward for all the training that you do getting ready. Talk about, the journey in the gym. Talk about what you're going through, what you're putting yourself through right now to get ready for next Friday.
It's one of those things for me. The gym has always been my happy place. Like, even through the struggle and, like, sweat and tears and blood, just how horrible and painful it is, it's always been somewhere where I've been happy. There was maybe one camp where I think I went to the gym and I was like, oh, my God, I hate this so much. But, it's one of those things that mentally in my head, like, no matter when it hurts and, like, I'm doing battle ropes and I'm like, damn, there's still 1 minute left. Pushing through it, I think, is part of the achievement and the fun, knowing that, hey, my body was about to break down and I can push through it. So training has been really hard. I mean, training has been, when I first came out here, the first week, I was like, oh, my God, I can't move my shoulders. Like, my shoulders hurt so bad. And then it was my, like, traps and my back, like my lats. Oh, my God, my lats hurt so bad. And then my quads hurt so bad. And then, so forth and so forth. So, my whole body is, like, so sore. And I'm like, dang. And then a couple days ago, my coach is like, wow, you just strength and conditioning. And I'm like, wow, you think so? Because I really didn't think that, but maybe I did. And so people are seeing, seeing the difference in the progression and the transformation. And so that makes me love it. I do get dropped off at the gym, because I don't have a vehicle out here, so I have to get rides and everything, which everyone, again, is super supportive about. But I get dropped off at the gym early because it makes it more convenient. And some people are like, well, no, we'll come and get you at 11. And I'm like, no, I'll just get there at 7:30 because, the ride is more convenient that way. And shit, I'll be at the gym from 7 until 11 just hanging out
I think she said,
until my practice at 11.
And she said the ship will be there 11.
7:30.
Right, the ship. Okay.
So my question to you, I have obviously nothing brings out the A-list celebrities like the Super Bowl week. Last week we talked to Lorenzo Hunt, and he couldn't believe that Shaquille O'Neal knew his name and that he was there at his fight at the BKFC. Who's that one celebrity that could be there in attendance in Lakeland on February 5th that you would just be like, oh my God, I can't believe they are here to watch me fight?
Yes, so I actually have a perfect answer for you because I've thought about this. So it's so crazy you're asking. I actually messaged Kevin yesterday being like, oh my God, I hope Pitbull is there. I heard he's going to be there. I hope he's going to be there. It would mean the world to me if he is there. There's definitely a reason why. So I hope that, he's there to watch the main event. And I hope afterwards he's a Bret and Hart fan and we can get a picture together. It would be freaking awesome.
It just so happens that I do have friends in low places.
You do?
Down South Florida. I'm just saying. And I will call Mr. Worldwide's management later today. I will do that because I've been in contact. He was going to come to the Nashville event as well.
Was. Yes,
so I might have to look into that. And you mentioned about hate going into a gym. I hate driving by a gym. I just thought I'd tell you.
Oh my God, that's funny.
How did you get involved, with Kevin Smith and Smith Brothers Combat Sports Management?
Man, it was another amazing story on how things happen when you don't force them. I think Kevin has known me for a while, and whatever in passing or more of like acquaintances. And he reached out to me, at different times, saying that he wanted to help and no pressure, whatever. And I told him my whole fears because I've gone through some bad management. Man, I've had three managers that have just not ended well for me, and it was really ugly and terrible what they did to me. So I just have a really salty taste when it comes to managers and being on paper and what they try to do to take advantage of fighters. So I voiced that to Kevin. Kevin was like, okay, well, no problem. Well, I just want to help you out because I believe in you and I see something there. It doesn't have to be in writing. And I was like, wow. And we started off that way. It didn't even have to do with me, to be honest. It wasn't that Kevin did something special for me. I saw him do something for another fighter. And that made me stop and look and be like, because it's like the same thing. Like if people talk shit and like, you know, about somebody behind their back and then.
If people talk stuff.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes. If people talk stuff about, yeah, I apologize. When people talk stuff about people, you know, it's kind of like, well, they're going to do that about me. So same thing with the good things. When Kevin was doing something for this one fighter, it really made me pay attention to be like, wow, if he would do that for this fighter, I'm sure he would do this, you know, for me. And to see how much he really put into it and like how much effort and, you know, heart, he really cares about his fighters. And that's when it told me, I was like, you know what, let's put it on paper. We're good. You know, I want to be in this with Kevin. I want to be in this with Smith Brothers Combat Sports. He's the only person that I've ever had really make it feel like it's a team. And like I have, you know, like Lorenzo is my, you know, on the same team as me. And I love that feeling. And he's the only one who's really ever done that on a management side. Even though we don't train together, we're still represented and have that camaraderie. And I really like it. And Kevin, if I message him anything or, you know, whatever, he gets it done. He helps me. It's very motivating, positive, and that's really what I like to be around. So that's, you know, how me and Kevin and Smith Brothers Combat Sports came together, and it's been working out pretty beautifully.
I have been on the radio since the mid-'80s. I've been around managers. I worked in Major League Baseball as a teenager. Kevin is one of those really good guys, you know, guys that not only you can trust, that I trust, and I trust no one. And, you know, I love Kevin and love that he's getting involved even more. So it's very cool. Thank you very much for your time. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully we can get you back on next week when you get to town. After, I have a gift for you for coming on the program, but I will not send it to you until next week because it will be a box of Wicked Good cupcakes. And these are, without a doubt, the best cupcakes, but I don't want you thinking about them, smelling them, anything until after your fight next week.
Wow. Well, that is so awesome. That pumps me up big time. So thank you. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I love cupcakes. If you saw my, like, I'm really honest. People say I'm skinny, but I'm really a fat kid at heart. And that is my real weakness with eating. And, you know, thank God I have NutriFit that sent me some vanilla cake protein shakes. So now I feel like I'm still eating sweets.
Well, stay on track. You'll have the Wicked Good cupcakes. If you're not familiar with them, they were on Shark Tank, blah, 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 blah. They come in the mason jar. They're incredible. I'm going to put you on hold so we can get an address to send them to you middle of next week so that you'll have them when you get home, wherever home may be. And like I said, hopefully we can get you on back on next week when you get to town.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and I would love that, and I look forward to talking to you about my victory on KnuckleMania.
We will definitely do that. Thanks, Brett. We're going to put her on hold. They're going to get all the information back at the studio. And, yeah, I don't know what day we'll be able to put her on because we have to get everybody approved to get on Radio Row. And I'll get all those details on Friday. You know, what we have to send in. You know, is there a limit? You know, am I going to be able to slide you in one day? Because I really don't want to. So hopefully I'll have enough people above you.
The best part about this whole interview is that Knucklehead
you were not
is actually an endearment.
Yeah.
It's an endearing compliment to who I am. And I've been called a knucklehead for years by you.
It really is a bunch of ship, S-H-I-P, that I can no longer use the word knuckle and you in the same sentence. That really does stink. But I really enjoyed talking to her.
What a great interview.
Yeah.
Great.
And I'm happy that she's with Kevin because Kevin really is a good guy.
He absolutely is.
You know, I've dealt with tons of managers, and I would put, you know, I could probably count on one hand, you know, the ones I would return calls to or would even want to talk to.
Of course.
And Kevin, you know, is that guy, and hopefully he can continue to build up not only his management team, but the gym. And I've told him that we will do a show up there.
Oh, that's cool.
I need to get a passport.
Yep.
And I need to stock a cooler.
Is that Pasco County?
I think it is. I think it's Pasco.
All the way up in Pasco County.
I need to get my virus shots and all that kind of stuff so that I can go up there.
Yes.
But if I would have had it, I might have been able to get a free ticket to the Super Bowl.